God damn it.
What the fuck?
Oh! Holy shit! If you have a seat that's damaged, either the seat skins are all stained up and torn, or there's actually frame damage to the seat, such as this one right here. You can see there's an actual crack by the mechanism here that reclines it. You don't have to replace the entire seat. Well, it depends on your situation. So this seat here, as you can see, it's not repairable. Now I went to the junkyard, I got this seat, similar color but not quite the same. It's out of a little bit older of an Explorer. See? So I want my seats to match, and these ones were in excellent condition, this driver's seat. So instead of putting in this entire seat that doesn't match because this part is good, the frame's solid and the recline feature works, I'm just removing the skins from each seat and swapping them. So these come off pretty simple. Basically, let's start with the top half of this one. If the first thing you want to do is take your seat out, and that's also very simple. You need a 10mm socket. It's going to be 2 bolts here, and then when you'll slide the seat back to remove these 2, and then slide it forward, and you'll have these 2. And then once you do those, you need to pull the seat out a hair toward you, and it'll free up some space here. The seat will still be in the car at this point because it's hooked on to this seat belt here. You got a bolt here that's going to go into the seat, also a 10mm, and there's going to be one more right here. And when you take those 2 out, the seat will come right out. And then you have your next step. If you're going to reskin the seat like I am, doesn't really matter which side. I usually like to start with the top. So you can see you just pull up and release this, and then we're going to pull this seat back up and flip it over. There's going to be one more underneath here that you have to let loose, which you can do from the back or where I just have my hand. So just so you guys can see, this is the side we just disconnected. We're going to push it through. There you go. And now we can start pulling this up very carefully. You gotta kind of roll it off. Roll it up and off because there's Velcro underneath this skin that's kind of holding it on. But it comes off with minimal effort. Just be gentle because you don't want to damage the good seat cover you're transferring. This is a great idea if you don't want to put some tacky looking seat covers in your Explorer. Go to the junkyard. I bought this donor seat here, the whole thing, for $30. You might be able to find them even cheaper. And again, you're just going to pull up on this. Only takes about a minute. And there you go, that's skin number 1 off. And the bottom half is simple as well. Let's go ahead and flip this over. You can see you've got these same little plastic things here. You gotta pull this one back, pull these all back and release them from the frame of the seat they're hanging on to. Give me a minute just to do that in both hands. There comes that one. So the same process all around. 2, 3, 4. So now you've got these loose, you want to remove the frame of the seat because you can try to tug this through, but you might end up damaging it. So it's easy just to take these 4 10mm bolts out, get the frame out of the way, and this will come right off. So I'm going to do that right now. All I had to do was release 3 of the bolts to get the track loose enough to go ahead and just pull this cover right out. And just be careful because it might be tugging on something like this. You want to take your time with this. It's already a quick enough process. You don't want to risk damaging the upholstery after all that work. Now you might have an issue like I'm having here. My other seat didn't have this. I got 2 bolts right here that are holding this cover in. I'm going to go ahead and take those out. But it's just easy disassembling. because I don't want to tear this here. So give me just a minute to do that. Now you can see by removing those 2 bolts on the side, I've freed up the bottom seat cover. But you know, I'm looking at my transfer seat here with the good frame, and man, isn't that gross looking? That styrofoam looks much better, much more supportive. I wish I could take that one with me. Now, I could go through the process of disassembling this from the side recline mechanism, which is broken on the seat, or it's even more simple than that. I can just slide this styrofoam right off. Ensure that you don't tear anything. There's one more hook for the styrofoam right here. You release that. Boom, you got your clean seat backing. I can transfer over to the good frame. I'm going to repeat the process with this nasty one, which is all covered with mold. This was in a junkyard for a while, and I don't know how exposed to the elements this seat was. I mean, who wants to put this stinky ass seat in this car? So let's go ahead and lift that out. There we go. And same thing you saw before. So now I'm going to just repeat the process, reverse, put everything back together onto this good frame, and put it in. I'll have a working, sliding, reclining seat. Now you can see we have another problem with this donor seat. Remember, this is the good one. It will recline like I want it to. It doesn't have a crack over here, but look, this spring is broken. This metal wore through. So when you're sitting in this seat, it's not going to be very supportive over here. So I'm going to go ahead and get a metal drill bit, drill a hole right here next to it, and just relocate the spring. I drilled a new hole to find that spring. Here it is. So go ahead and hook that in there. And there we go. So that's fixed. Now I can put the seat cover back on here. Cover this back up, put the track on it, and throw it back in the car. Now you can see I just finished clipping in all the clips. It's very simple. I don't even have to show it. They just kind of, looks like this one might have cracked a hair from being unclipped after so many years, but still doing its job. And there's an extra one for the back right there anyway, so you don't have to worry about that too much if one of these cracks. But they're all on there nice and tight. You can see the bottom of the seat is done. Looks like it was on this seat the whole time and never came off another one. So I'm going to go ahead and put the skin for the top half on, and then remove the track from the broken seat, put it on this one, and put it back in the car. And now we just slide the cover here over the styrofoam. You're going to slide this all the way down, and then you're going to push it so that this Velcro sticks to the cover and secures it, makes it nice and tight. And then in a minute, I'll show you how to rehook this underneath here, and you're good to go. Now we're just going to pull this through, or push it through. And then once you get this nice and tight and perfect and straight, you're gonna hook it onto here and you're done. What a long way this Explorer has came since I picked it up not even a week ago. Last Saturday, the paint came back to life when I power washed it and removed all the mold and grime. And it's dirty right now. It still looks this good because it's been raining all week. The door that before we couldn't even open after locking the vehicle, locked, unlocked. I'm putting that spring in there. It's helping to lift this up. And the driver's seat that used to be held up by a plank of wood, now a totally new frame is in, while keeping the old covering and foam, so there's no mold or mismatching seat, but having the function of a new seat. It's not going anywhere. Also, the back lift gate. Before, this handle was totally loose. We couldn't even open this. Wouldn't open at all. Now, opens right up. And the glass didn't even close before. And it was so loose that this would wobble everywhere. Now it's nice and tight. And the glass opens again. And stays open. Bunch of minor little things. But it takes a vehicle from needing work to being perfect and ready to go and feeling like a new car. When you get in, you don't have to finick with anything stupid like a broken seat held up by a plank or having to open the door to the back door to get into the front door. It's just nice when everything works as it should. So it's time to take this thing for a drive and see the difference. I gave it a minor cleaning inside. Cleaned up the cluster here, nice and clean now. I bought this truck, battery was stone cold dead. It's been sitting, I haven't moved this in 3 days. Fires right up, just need to charge up. The AC is ice cold, no check engine lights. And remember when I used to have the door ajar light on all the time because the glass was stuck open? Well, now that's gone. Nice light-free dash. And how about this seat? No plank behind me. I can recline if I want to take a little nap. The recline setting works great. Let's put it right about there. And I can slide the track. No problem. Small, cheap fixes that to a buyer coming to look at this car are going to make the world of a difference. Also, how could I forget, we tightened up the shift column here, so now I can be on a slope like this and be in park and not worry about the truck rolling away. So small little things can make a big difference, and now I'm just waiting for that potential buyer to come check it out.